Hello YouTube, I am Matt and welcome to just another drop in the bucket. Welcome YouTube, just another drop in the bucket, and we have a review on Ferris Wheel Press and how it handles with fountain pen grade paper. Welcome back YouTube, this is Matt with just another drop in the bucket. We're reviewing Ferris Wheel Press ink today. This is a very hard ink to find if you're in a show. Recently attended the Orlando fountain pen show, and nobody there on the second day had Ferris Wheel Press ink. Nobody. Let me tell you folks, that was, I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing. They are currently one of the highest priced inks that you can buy by volume. It's the same price point per unit that you are buying, but their unit and volume is much smaller. So right now, the ones we got, I believe they are 20 milliliters or something like that, 15 to 20, and they come in a box looking like this. Very shiny, a lot of impressive colors, just like their ink. Do I think it's worth it? Very shiny. I am impressed with how it looks. Pardon me there. So let's start off with the first one, the Ribbiting Pond. This is one of their new colors that's come out, and it is a super light, almost sky blue. Now, if you happen to be writing with a lot of ink flow, which you'll see an example of here and here, I did these with a glass dip pen. I always review just ink first with a glass dip. First, I want to see if the ink itself actually comes out with any texture. Secondly, it allows me a variation across a single sentence to see how the ink responds. Usually, it allows some of the glitter to pull up and look extra good and really pop versus just writing with a nib. Maybe it doesn't. In this case, I'll show you some that do. Ferris Wheel Press, the Ribbiting Pond, is a brilliant blue, close to sky blue, or azul if you will, and when it pulls up in a very dark or very wet area, it does get a little bit darker, but overall, including the smudge test, we do see that it comes out nearly transparent. In fact, it is transparent, and writing a normal text with a normal amount of ink, it's not transparent, but it's certainly a light color. So if you enjoy seeing light colors on your page, I highly recommend this. Now, all of these inks have a lot of shade, shimmer, and sheen in them, so they're going to vary in color, and they're going to have different shades and shimmers. As they dry, they get more shimmery and different colors added to them, so always keep looking back at the page. Every day is going to be something new. I learned this from previous ones that have similar effects. So next we're going down to the Ferris Wheel Press Cloak and Forest. Now this is a very dark green, but I don't know if you could see it. I don't know if our camera has the color depth, but I can already see some shimmer that I could not see earlier with this. Now, it does have some amount of purple in it. I believe that is the glitter, but it's a little bit less visible. All of these so far have been super smooth inks. Now, smudging it or anywhere that's going to have a lot of shaded in area is going to be a darker green. So this is not really a transparent color. This is going to be a nice dark shaded area. Imagine a dark forest that's full of trees and large green leaves that are just shading in the whole area that you're in, and you're running through the forest with a cloak over you. This is the kind of thing that you would envision yourself writing about with this ink. And it has a lot of color and darkness and mystery to it. It does have a little bit of that fairy tale gold and purple in it and the shimmer, but the shimmer is much less present as compared to the last one I'm reviewing today, which is the third ink we bought of Ferris Wheel Press, and their latest additions is the Ferris Wheel Press Brilliant Beanstock, like Jack and the Beanstalk. Now on this is a super light green. So the actual green shade itself is transparent when it is smudged, or its shaded area is going to be fairly light in color. What it does make up for is the amount of gold shimmer present, or glitter. the entire text all the way through is completely gold glittered. So if you are looking for something that from minute one you can see the shimmer come out, this is your ink. If you like green and gold shimmer, this is it. I recommend 100% the Ferris Wheel Press Brilliant Beanstock. It is absolutely the most shimmering and shaded ink. It goes from a light transparent to a darker green where it is pooled. The text itself is a nice medium green, like a beanstalk, like a plant, but yet has that fairy tale gold shimmer everywhere throughout it. So you know that you're writing something that is in a positive fashion, probably about your favorite main character, and is really going to help set the tone in your mind for what you're writing about. So if you're starting to write something that you really want to put an upbeat spin to, Ferris Wheel Press Brilliant Beanstock. Now, an average bottle is between 60 to 80 milliliters, and the average price tag is between $20 and $30 for that. Now, the average bottle of this is between 15 and 20 milliliters, so a third to 1/4 the volume, and this is $20. So we're talking about roughly 3 to 4 times the price tag for the same volume. Will you write with this every day? Probably not. One steep downside, and this is across all their sizes, they did offer larger bottles earlier when they first started coming out, but you could see there, very small top. I'll even risk opening it just to demonstrate how small the throat of this bottle is. That's it, folks. You could barely get a normal sized pen feed and nib in this. If you're trying to fill up an 8, you're going to need to extract ink from this and put it in another type filling bottle just so you could properly ink with it. And if you're using a milliliter plus per fill, such as a vacuum filling system, you're going to be writing with a very expensive couple pages worth of ink, just based on the volume alone. But if you really want to enhance what your page looks like, if you want to enhance how that text is coming out, this is the way to go. The next thing I see that's kind of close to it, which is my personal favorite right now, is the Endless Alchemy. But here it is, folks. We have the Ferris Wheel Press. It is absolutely amazing in how much shade and shimmer and sheen it all has. I love it all. Write down below what you're using. What are you inked up with right now that's Ferris Wheel Press? What's your favorite Ferris Wheel Press ink that you have? Tell me about it, folks. Here's what I have. Here's how it wrote on my favorite Rhodia paper. See you on the flip side.